Hey everybody, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. Tonight I'm just going to do a quick review on range results that I saw today when I was shooting the Mod 2 and the PPS M2. Neither gun was a clear winner, neither gun was a clear loser. They were both excellent at the range today. Very happy with both, but in a moment I'll tell you which one I felt was a little bit better. The first thing I do want to cover is this ammunition. If anybody has used the Aguila 124 grain 9mm, I'd love to hear a response from you. The reason being is because this ammo, for whatever reason, I've shot it now for 2 days. I've gone through about 350 rounds of it, and I have to tell you that it's either something wrong with the ammunition, or maybe this is the way it is. I don't know. I've never used Aguila before. I've always used Blazer brass. But what's happening is when the gun has been shot, it's leaving behind inside this like almost glitter. It looks like a little fairy flew in and sprinkled glitter all over my gun after I was done. I can't explain any other way than that. As a matter of fact, today and yesterday when I was done shooting, from my elbow down I was covered in glitter. And it looks like the brass is almost disintegrating when it's being shot. And it's creating a fine dust almost, or a fine glitter fragment is the best way of saying it. So I have now spent about 2 hours cleaning the interiors of these two guns right here, and I have to say that because of that, this ammunition right here is done. I am not shooting any more of that. I'm actually going to probably try to contact Aguila and find out if this is something that is normal. If not, I'm going to ask them for my money back or for some replacement rounds, because you know, to see this, and it's all over my table now too. You guys can't see it, but you can actually see when the light hits it, almost like a glittery reflection. So it's, you know, now it's all over my table, which, oh well, so be it. You know, at least it brings out the stars, so to speak. Other than that, besides the problem with the ammo, I would say that both of these guns did very well today. No real issues with them. There were no failures. There were no complaints at all when I was shooting. I would say that if I had to pick one which I liked better, would it be the PPS M2 or would it be the XD Mod 2? I would say for me personally, I just shot this one better. I don't know if it's because it's a little bit more ergonomic. I don't know if it's because the grip is a little thicker. I can't tell you why I just shot it better, but I just did. This one, the PPS, definitely feel more little recoil in there than in the Mod 2, but there is a big weight difference between this and this. This is also a very thick pistol as opposed to this one. So, you know, there might just be more practice that's needed with the PPS. It fired great. There weren't any issues with it. For me personally, I just preferred the feel of the Mod 2 a little bit better when I was shooting it. So I think overall the results I saw with this were a little bit better. I did most of my shooting with the flat base plate for the magazine. And I did all of my shooting today in the PPS with the extended 7-round magazine. I had 2 of them, so I used both of those. I did not shoot with the flat base plate. Actually, I don't even carry the flat base plate because I prefer the longer grip for my pinky. So I don't even use them. So I figured if I don't use it, I'm not shooting it, and if I had to shoot it, I would still be able to do what I needed to do. At least I think so. Now, getting to the actual results of what I saw. Now, before everybody starts criticizing my shooting and saying, hey, this guy sucks, I just want to kind of explain a couple of things as to what I'm looking for when I personally go shooting. I mean, this again only applies to me. It doesn't have to apply to you, but this is just what I'm looking for. Now, there are some people who go shooting and they're looking for maximum accuracy. Oops. And that's great. You know, I'm glad to see we have a lot of marksmen out there. Myself, I would not include in that conversation because I'm not. You know, I'm good within 10 to 20 yards and sometimes a little bit further back on a good day. But for me, I look at it from the standpoint of if I was in a self-defense situation, you know, I'm looking at 10, maybe 15 to 20 yards away of being able to put shots on target. So I stood roughly 10 yards out, probably about 10 yards out, 8 to 10 yards. So I was about 10 yards away from this target. And what I try to do is when I'm shooting, I'm trying to shoot low and work myself high. Now, I'm not going to pretend that if there was a situation where I needed to pull my gun and actually use it, I'm not going to say to you that I'm going to go and shoot for the head because I'm going to knock them down with one shot with a headshot. Look, I don't play enough Call of Duty and I don't go to the range enough, so I can't really do that myself. However, what I do try to do is I do try to go center mass shots. I try to aim for vital organs, any soft tissue where it can maximize damage. So I'm looking for spleens, I'm looking for livers, the stomach area. Why? Because I'm trying to get targets that are big, that stand out and that I know I can hit with a lot of accuracy. If I wanted to go for a headshot, there's a great chance that I'm going to miss the head and hit somebody behind them, and I don't want that on my conscience, and I'm sure none of you do as well. So for me, I go for the basic mid shots to see if I can get them as accurate as possible. In this one, you can see I have a little straggler over here. You know, it is what it is. It's still within the target, so I'm okay with it. You know, a couple of ones here, but then as I got a little bit better, and again, this was towards the end of the day, it was hot. Not making excuses, but I was done by that point. You can see the grouping was still decent here and in here as well. So if I was to hold this up to myself, you know, I can tell you right now that this is about the size of my torso. I'm a little wider, I'm 6'2", 210, but this is about the midline of my torso. That would be my neck area up top right there. As you can see, if this was up against me, these would all be relatively soft tissue shots, all center mass shots, and accurate as far as I'm concerned. Now, that, by the way, was the, this was, I believe, yeah, this was the PPS M2. Now, this is also the PPS. This was really at the beginning of the day. You can see everything was landing to the left. My sight was a little off, I have to say. I actually had to adjust it when I got home to center it a little bit more because it was off, so it was throwing my shot off a little bit. So I had to adjust through the course of the day. You can see that again. You know, I had one straggler here, but this was a little bit more rapid fire one-handed. These two up here as well. You can see these two here, and then this one up here. But again, still within the general vicinity. This one not so bad, not so good. You know, that's whatever. At the same time, you can see that as I bring the shots going up, I'm starting to crowd him. I'm starting to mass him up into a massive soft tissue area. Again, centering it a little bit more here. So overall, I was happy with the results. Again, I'm not looking for bullseye accuracy. I'm not. And if you think I am, and I'm saying that I am, then I'd be lying to you because I'm really not looking for that. Instead, what I'm looking for, again, is to do soft tissue damage. This right here is the Mod 2. Again, this was towards the end of the day. Whoops. You can see that everything is pretty decent. You know, these were the last 25 rounds that I shot. Again, you know, a couple of stragglers here, but again, I was doing a little one-handed at the last 5. So that was 2, that was 3, and I think that was 4, and the 5th one was here. You can see that when I was actually shooting with 2 hands, kind of concentrating on the center mass, I was able to group them together here, here, and here as well. So again, center mass shots, all hitting the body, all doing the damage that they're meant to do. Again, if you're doing a 134 grain hollow point bullet, you know, maybe a Hydra Shock or something like that. You know, for example, some of these 135 grain. Ooh, love these. I'm pretty sure that's going to do enough damage. You know, and again, this is 20 shots or 25 rounds. I usually carry anywhere from 20 to 30 rounds with me. So again, this would be effective in my opinion. I'm not a marksman, not an expert, but I still think it's effective. At the beginning of the Mod 2, again, I felt I was much more accurate with this at the beginning. You know, I was messing around a little bit, doing in the beginning, just kind of going around the circle. Again, starting low, working myself up into the mid-region here. Again, all, in my opinion, decent shots. You know, I know Big Johnson always does his fist, so I'll do my fist, there we go. Or I'll just do my hand, and I'll just do that. It looks better that way. But, you know, overall, very happy with the results. I can't say enough about both pistols. I don't think there is, again, a clear winner or a clear loser. I just prefer the Mod 2. I think for me, it just fits my hand a little bit better. And after all, I think most of the time that's what counts. As long as you're comfortable with the gun that you're using, you know, you probably will have no issues with accuracy or anything like that. Other than that, I hope that review of how I shot helps a little bit. Again, if anybody knows anything about that ammo, you know, feel free to let me know. And leave comments, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. And as always, freedom is never free.